Okay, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for returning. This is lesson 8.6, Writing Linear Equations, part 2, and we have plenty of doing. We just worked with parallel lines, so now we're going to look at perpendicular lines. There are some things we need to remember when working with perpendicular. So let's just see. Writing an equation of a line that is perpendicular. Writing an equation of the line that is perpendicular to the line y equals 1/4 x plus 12 and passes through the point 0, -4. Well, what do we have to have to be perpendicular? So if we're looking at a line, what does the slope have to look like to be perpendicular? That's right, it has to be the inverse. So if it's positive, it becomes negative, and if it's negative, it becomes positive, and reciprocal means we're flipping that fraction, right? Even if it's 4, it becomes 1/4, right? Okay, I'm just going to abbreviate, otherwise it's going to take me all day to write, and you don't really want to watch me write. I know that. So I know that this positive 1/4, now needs to become -4 over 1, or I can just leave it as -4. So I know this much so far. I know y equals -4 times x plus b. Do I know what the b is? Do we remember what the b is? B is the y-intercept, right? So y-intercept means where is it crossing the y-axis? How do I know this? Well, I substitute a 0 in when I see x, and that will allow me to see what my y is. But in this case, b is unknown, so let me try these values that they've given me. They gave me 0, -4. So they're telling me if I put a -4 for y, that when I have -4 times 0 plus b, which is going to be my y-intercept. So I end up with -4 equals b. Now you might remember from the last one we just watched where we had 0, and from the previous video before that where we had y and x intercepts, that when we're looking for the y-intercept, we plug 0 in for x. So if my 0 is in the x position, and I have plugged 0 in for x, and I'm telling you that the answer would be -4, you know this is my y-intercept already. So you would already have known that -4 was going to be my b. So you probably already skipped to y equals -4 because I want it to be perpendicular, and I'm being told that the y-intercept is -4. So this is my answer. Hopefully this is the same answer you arrived at. If not, please go back, double check, see if you rework the problem, if it was a mathematical error. Make sure you come in with questions, because I understand that sometimes you just get the information jumbled up. Okay, so we have some more work to do. We've done parallel, we've done perpendicular. Now we're trying to write an equation using a table. So if we have this table and it's going to show us the amount of cash left after starting with $25, after so many loads, how much money are we going to have? So if I'm washing 0 loads, I still have my $25. Well, that makes sense. If I wash 1 load, I now have $23. If I wash 2 loads, I now have 21. And if I have 3 loads, I now have $19. So what do we know? Well, first of all, we do know the slope-intercept. We know that it's y equals mx plus b. We also know that if I have 0 loads, I have $25 left, which is the same as where I started, because I haven't spent any of my money. So this I know is going to be, if I have y equals mx plus b. Let me get this out of the way. So I'm going to plug in what I know. I have m times 0 for my x plus b equals 25. Okay, so I know this. So what else do I know now? Well, I know that this m times 0, it doesn't matter what m is. It could be $2 trillion. If it's times 0, it's 0. So I know that's no longer part of the equation. So I now know my y-intercept is b. So I know this much. Y equals mx plus 25. Okay, so now I'm being told if I put 1 in for x, I have m, my slope times 1, plus 25, then I'm going to equal $23. I can solve for m, right? So I can subtract 25 from both sides and get negative 2. Because 23 minus 25 is negative 2. So I get m equals negative 2, or 1m equals negative 2. So let me just test this and see if this is correct. So what if I say y equals negative 2 times x plus 25? Okay, so let me just go straight to the 3 because I got to test these. So if I put a 3 in here now, I get 2 times 3, negative 2 times 3 is negative 6 plus 25 does in fact equal 19. So I have found my equation, and that is y equals negative 2x plus 25. So what if I had done 8 loads? Could I find that out now? I certainly could, right? I'd plug 8 in. 8 times 2 would be giving me negative 16 plus 25. And then how much money do I have left? I would have $9 left. Excellent. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we do have a few more things, but to keep the video shorter, I'm going to stop this at this time. Make sure you watch part 3. This was part 2. Thank you.